Hello everyone, this is the first post-scenery video of Killashandra in operation. We have here an Nn3 layout based on the 1940s rural Ireland. It is loosely based on the Cavan Leitrim Railway in northwest Ireland. Specifically, my influence is the Drumshambo branch to the mines at Arigna. We have here a Marklin 060 with temporary brass side tanks on it as a sort of stand-in for the typical Hunslet narrow gauge engine that the Cavan Leitrim was known to use. And we're going to give it a whirl here. Alright, here is the home-built throttle that I use for the layout. It is just a small aluminum enclosure with a small knob on top. It is a power supply. It's a variable power supply that pretty much puts out whatever you put into it in terms of voltage. The power supply I'm using supplies 13 volts. It's a little much for a small Marklin engine. It should be about 9 volts, but it's what I have on hand. So I simply run it at a lower voltage. It has a nice positive click feature, so you know when it is on and off. And it actually gives very great speed control. It is pulse width modulation, so it gets pretty good low speeds out of the 3-pole motor. Now, this engine's been used before I was given it, so it is a little dirty as a pair. It was far more dirty before I cleaned it, and it runs far better now, but it could be better. It also could be a 5-pole version, which is smoother, but I work with what I have. So, again, it is just, I have a fairly long cord on it, as you can see, to give plenty of length. The power supply is just plugged into the layout by your standard Cinch Jones plug. With a nice metal housing on the outside, very robust. Being my N-track roots, I use secondhand Jones plugs and very nicely braided cable here. Fairly robust for just a small layout, but then again, I take the layout to, it's been to 1 show so far, and I intend for it to go to many more, so I like things to kind of last. Like the brown exterior you see on the layout is only temporary. Paul O'Hagy suggested that the pink foam needed to go, so in a short rush at the Danville Old 97 Rail Days this year, it was quickly painted brown before the scenery began, and as you can see, we do have the starting of a dirt road. It is Arizona Rock and Mineral Company's light tan earth, made of some form of crushed limestone. It is their number 1020. I'm using what I call the oil and chips method. I just put down full strength white glue, sprinkle the dirt over top, and then kind of tamp it in using the butt of a good pair of Swiss number 2 tweezers, specifically watchmakers tweezers. And anyhow, this is the layout in its current form as it is now. The backdrop you see behind it is not the layout's actual backdrop. It is actually a 4-foot long backdrop that was painted by my grandmother for my N-track module, which will never be seen again. And it was technically supposed to represent part of Wales, although with the thatched roof cottage you see in the background, it does lend itself nicely to being rural Ireland. Anyhow, again, this is Killashandra, 1940s rural Ireland in N-scale narrow gauge, and thank you for watching.